what slavery will look like in 2026. The year is 2026. No one calls it slavery. That word is too loud, too historical, too obvious. We prefer softer language now. Optimization, security, stability, opportunity. It begins quietly. A man wakes up before sunrise. His phone is already awake. Notifications stacked like instructions. His productivity score dipped yesterday. 2 late responses. 1 flagged email. His employer's monitoring software registered inactivity for 11 minutes at 3:12 p.m. He was staring at a wall. In 1860, a man could be owned. In 2026, a man has been measured. And measurement is cleaner. No chains, just dashboards with tracking systems. Across the ocean, a woman waits in a rented room tied to a temporary work visa. Her contract says freedom. Her immigration status says obedience. If she speaks against her employer, the visa dissolves. If the visa dissolves, so does her home, so does her future. She is not owned. She is regulated heavily. We told ourselves slavery ended with abolition. That history moved in a straight line, from plantation to emancipation, from segregation to civil rights, from oppression to progress. But history doesn't move in straight lines. It spirals, and every era invents a version of control that fits its technology. In 2026, control doesn't need whips. It needs debt. The average household lives on borrowed time. Mortgages stretched thin by inflation. Food prices reshaped by supply chain shocks. Energy costs fluctuating with every geopolitical tremor. Wars no longer stay within borders. A conflict in one region spikes fuel in another. Sanctions tighten. Trade routes shift. Governments warn of instability. And when instability rises, so does authority. Emergency powers are introduced. Surveillance expands temporarily. Data retention policies extend for national security. Citizens nod. Fear makes concessions feel responsible. During world wars, governments rationed goods. In 2026, they ration visibility. Algorithms decide who gets seen, who gets funded, who gets hired. Credit systems determine access to housing. Predictive tools assess risk. Insurance premiums adjust based on behavior. Social platforms rank influence. Employers track keystrokes. Productivity becomes a heartbeat on a screen. You are free to leave, but the system remembers. Your score follows you. Your data trails you. Your digital shadow negotiates on your behalf, and sometimes against you. There is always the threat of war. Maybe not global, not yet, but constant tension. Military buildups, strategic alliances shifting like fault lines. Every government speaks the same language: preparedness, protection, preemptive action. And protection requires data. Protection requires compliance. Protection requires trust. The citizen trades privacy for safety. The worker trades autonomy for stability. The student trades curiosity for employability. No one forces them. That's the genius of it. The most effective control is the one people defend themselves. Hustle culture replaces overseers. 16-hour workdays are ambition now. Burnout is a badge of honor. If you're exhausted, you're building something, they say. Building what? A life or a dependency? Automation reshapes industries. AI systems manage logistics, hiring, surveillance, targeting. Some jobs vanish, others mutate. The worker must adapt constantly or be replaced. Reskill, upskill, optimize. Compete with machines that don't sleep. If your income depends on platforms that can deactivate you instantly, are you self-employed or at the mercy of code? If speaking out risks digital exclusion, are you expressive or cautious? If healthcare, housing, and education are tied to employment metrics. Are you free or leased? The most terrifying part of 2026 is not brutality, it's consent. We scroll through the systems that categorize us. We accept terms we do not read. We allow devices to listen because convenience feels like power. We measure ourselves in followers, in revenue, in engagement rates. We become products that market ourselves. In older centuries, ownership was visible, bodies were property. In 2026, identity is property. Data is harvested. Behavior is predicted. Attention is sold. Entire economies revolve around human focus, the most renewable resource in history, endlessly extracted. And when economic pressure mounts, when inflation bites, when jobs tighten, when global tensions spike, resistance feels irresponsible. You don't protest, you adjust. You tell yourself, this is adulthood, this is modern life, this is the cost of progress. History whispers something different. Abolition did not happen because systems felt generous. Labor rights were not gifts. Civil liberties were not spontaneous. They were fought for when pressure became unbearable. Every generation believed its structure was normal until someone called it by its real name. In 2026, slavery will not look like the past. It will look like necessity. And that is why it will be harder to fight. Because the most sophisticated form of control is not enforced with violence. It is enforced with participation. And by the time it feels wrong, it will feel normal.